On Opening Soon by Design. Skirting disaster, building a high-end Hermes boutique in a city that's sinking.
You know, Venice is a difficult city to organize things.
She has to bring the best of France to Venice without sinking her career.
I'm not quite sure if he's happy about it or not.
Venice, a jewel in the Adriatic Sea, a floating city rich in history and culture. But the very thing that makes it beautiful makes it almost impossible to get things done.
We have Acqua Alta.
You know what it is, Acqua Alta?
It's the water issue.
And this woman is taking on the water in Venice in the biggest move of her career.
This is my big challenge.
Miarica Bertolotti has to bring the ultimate in French luxury to Italy. Hermes, the venerable Paris design house, has asked her to open a showcase store. She's under strict orders to make it a virtual clone of the original on Rue de Faubourg.
All the stores are done in the same philosophy, same way to present the product and same way to welcome the customers.
Everything about Hermes has to be perfect. The company began in 1837 making saddles and harnesses for the upper crust. But with the arrival of the horseless carriage, it had to branch into accessories, handbags, perfume, and their famous silk scarves.
Well, I love the Hermes brand because I'm very attracted to classic things, to elegance. And I also love the sense that it is timeless.
But how do you recreate the perfection of Hermes in the watery chaos of Venice?
Venice is a difficult city to organize things because everything must be moved by boat. All the transportation is more difficult.
Miarica has to convert this space, right in the heart of Venice, into a store that even Hermes would be proud of. Their luxury items must not only be showcased here, but protected too. This building, along with the rest of Venice, floods several times a year. Opening day is just 8 weeks away.
Good morning. Buongiorno.
Oh, buongiorno.
Come sta?
She has help. She's counting on 2 Italian architects from Milan, Gianluca Saibene and Giovanni Gabbardini. But like her, they're from dry land, and they've had to come up with a plan to keep the water out.
Yes, the whole store is built like a bathtub, so to say.
Like a bathtub.
So that separates the whole store from the outside, so that the water cannot come in.
But what about, because I'm worried about the furniture and the product, so what happens? Do you have...
in case water comes into the store, which of course shouldn't happen, but who knows?
To protect the cabinetry from floodwaters, it will be set on steel bases.
Steel will be covered with the same mosaic we've just seen on the...
Oh, so you won't see it? So you won't see the stainless steel?
No, you won't see the stainless steel.
They have to safeguard the goods without ruining the look of the store. They're under strict orders from Paris, from the office of René Dumas, who fiercely guards the Hermes aesthetic.
For this project, we have done a base with the same tile as the floor.
She oversees 250 stores worldwide and is keeping a close eye on Giovanni's progress.
He has to like the project.
Don't look too much at this spot. This is going to be fixed
Yeah, I see
today.
that there, like you...
Because it's a little bit wobbly and it's going to be perfectly smooth.
He has to love the project.
Everything has to be brought in on site, and it has to be waterproofed.
And he has to protect and defend the project.
26 centimeters of water can come into the store, and the millwork is safe.
Okay.
Dove viene messa? Dove si
But these Italians are also protecting something else, their national honor.
I'm Italian, I work for a French company, but I'm very keen in showing that obviously, you know, the professionality of Italian workers is up to standard, up to French standard and up to the standards of Hermes. So I see the elevator is not ready yet?
Well, no, it's not that it's not ready, but it's a complicated thing to get an elevator here in Venice.
Yeah, I know they're not common elevators.
They're not very common.
We will have more than 60 people from the Hermes family coming to the event, coming in Venice. Well, here's the elevator again.
Yeah.
She's worried that the elevator won't be working for the opening.
I was thinking for my event, I have like 500 people coming in that evening. So will they fit? Will the elevator? Could they? How many people can go into the elevators?
Two people can fit into the elevator.
Oh, so it's very small. Actually.
It's very small.
Very small for 500 people. And it's behind schedule because of the water. They need to install a pump at the bottom of the elevator shaft in case of flooding. But despite all the safeguards, high water or acqua alta could ruin opening night.
I hope it won't be a rainy and acqua alta evening.
A very big mirror sheet here.
I don't really get it. I don't know what's happening.
I can tell Mirica hates the wall.
In the heart of Venice, Mirica Bertolotti has to convert this space into a high-end boutique for the French design house Hermes.
Venice is a difficult city to organize things because everything must be moved by boat.
In the city that floats, meeting any deadline is stressful.
I'm not sleeping very much in these days, no. All transportation will happen on water, and then you have to find a spot where to unload it, and you know, Venice is always filled with tourists, so you have to do it very early in the morning.
All this is new to Mirica. Remember, she's from Milan.
You see why everything is so complicated in Venice? Everything has to be transported with those trolleys you just saw over there. And
now I understand why everything is slow.
There are no vans, no cars that can transport.
Will we make it for the 16th? Everything has to be perfect.
Don't.
The pressure isn't just to open on time. Mirica's boss from Hermes in Paris, Stéphane Mournier, will be here tomorrow on an official inspection.
Stéphane will be, you know, a bit astonished about the chaos which is going on.
I know she's worried anyway because it's her job to be worried.
The cabinetry and fixtures have finally arrived, but one key piece is still missing.
The mirror, Gianluca was saying the mirror is not arriving today, it's arriving tomorrow.
Yes,
it's a big mirror, isn't it?
It was too big for high tides in Venice, which come twice a day. When water rises here, there isn't enough room under the bridges for cargo.
And if the mirror is too high, too tall, it won't fit under it.
But Mirica isn't even sure how the mirror will look in the space.
A very big mirror sheet here. And then when the screen is off, you will see just a slightly darker window in it, but still reflecting.
There's this terrible, weird little television which doesn't even fit in the space. I don't really get it. I don't know what's happening.
I can tell Mirica hates the wall.
So hopefully by tomorrow, cross fingers, we will have this wall.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure that when the mirror will be in, she will be happy. I hope so.
I have many other things to think about now. I actually have to rush out to an appointment, so hopefully it will be fine for tomorrow when I come with Stéphane.
Her appointment is at San Marco Square, where Hermes is paying for the restoration of the legendary bronze horses at the Basilica, called the Quadrige. It's a goodwill gesture, which the company does in every city where it opens a new store. There are normally 4 statues here.
Great, they're done. Lovely.
The other 2 are being refurbished behind this wall.
Buongiorno, io sono di Hermes. It's not just, you know, a commercial opening. Okay, here we come. Hermes is opening in Venice, but we're also wanting to enter this town on a cultural side.
The next day, the French lieutenant arrives, and he's ready to inspect.
What is on the last floor?
Last, there's a little terrace, but we cannot use it.
We are detail makers. That's our job.
But what is this? The exterior is not painted in the usual Hermes rouge.
Reina Dumas wanted this specific red because she had to get permission because it's very similar to a typical color in Venice, but it was slightly different.
And why are things so far behind?
Not finished, huh?
No, not finished at all.
The good news, the color scheme will match his wardrobe.
It's exactly the colors of the menswear collection for the winter. It's perfect.
It's true enough.
And the paintings and everything will arrive when?
It's not perfect enough yet.
It's working?
No.
We have to check all these things and to be sure that all those elements will be in place.
Back in Paris, Hermes designed a scarf specifically for the Venice opening.
So you can see it's exactly, well, the four horses, and this is the mosaics that you can find in the basilic. This is the floor, this is the sky with the stars.
It will retail for $400. Only 150 of these scarves have been made and will likely all be sold opening night.
Maybe we could have something with the scarf. We did special edition scarf on the street. We are doing our best to make something that even Venetians have never seen, which is difficult because Venetians are a little spoiled. When you see the city, how can we still surprise them?
On opening night, more than 500 guests from Venetian aristocracy will be here. It could be a crush.
When we're going to have people inside, we will need a way to get them out. How will we do that? Because there's only one door.
There's only one door, I know.
The circulation will be
Yes,
quite difficult.
we will have to help the circulation. We'll have to figure that out. I'm not quite sure if he's happy about it or not. Maybe because it's still quite a mess. He should have been a bit more ready.
The upper floor is where champagne will be served.
That's bigger. That's not.
That's bigger. That's
Yeah.
bigger. It's bigger. Prêt-à-porter homme, prêt-à-porter femme.
Miorica keeps Stéphane preoccupied, hoping he won't notice the missing
And
mirror.
actually, the store is in a very nice corner because we have like a little square in front. It's not so tight one in front
There's a
of the
lot
other.
of passing by here.
It's much more
No such luck.
What is that big wall?
This big wall is obviously for the mirror. A big mirror actually should have been already installed.
So it is that
today.
big, the mirror?
Yes.
My
it's
God.
very, very, very big. It was supposed to be installed today because I wanted you to see it.
The inspection done, it's time for the official verdict.
She's super professional, and I like the way she works. I'm totally confident.
It's 8 days before opening. The mirror is still not here.
I told everyone that the mirror is going to be installed. Let's hope the tide is going to be on our side and that the transport will happen.
I'm really worried about the mirror.
Miorica and the Italians are rushing to complete this luxury boutique for Hermes. The taste police from Paris has already done his inspection.
Not finished, huh?
No, not finished at all.
We are detail makers. That's our job.
I'm not quite sure if he's happy about it or not.
But bit by bit, the store is starting to look like an Hermes boutique. The carpets are laid with true Italian gusto. The scaffolding is down. The custom-made blinds and the cabinetry are being put in place. But one key piece is still missing.
Don't worry, really. Don't worry.
But Miorica is worried. The store opens in 1 week. Finally, it arrives. The huge mirror, the showpiece of the store, is at the dock.
The mirror is very important because here we are in Venice. Venetians are famous for the mirrors from the 18th century. And so if we mess up with the mirrors, this is going to be a problem.
But only half the battle has been won.
I'm really worried about the mirror.
It's too big to be carried into the store.
I really hope they can bring it up in some way.
They come up with a plan to hoist the mirror through a second-story window. But to do that, they had to remove it from the crate because it was too bulky. Now, the mirror is more fragile than ever. Meanwhile, Gianluca calls the Paris office to inquire about insurance coverage. Finally, liftoff. The mirror weighs more than 300 kilograms. At first, the tourists barely take notice. But slowly, a crowd gathers, and Mia Rica forces herself to watch. It just makes it through the window, with 2 centimeters to spare.
I was so worried about it. You've done a really good job. Bravo!
Bene, grazie mille.
Phew, another thing done.
Ok, per il prossima boutique speriamo che ci siano gli specchi più piccoli.
Exactly.
It's a huge achievement, even though in Venice, it's just another delivery.
I must say that we're all tired, and I can see on Gianluca's face the tension of the day. But it's been a good day at the end of it, so I'm happy.
Mia Rica retreats to her hotel, where she picks out her wardrobe for opening night. It will, of course, include an Hermes scarf. Mia Rica has several.
When I got the job at the Hermes, my mother had something like 6 or 7 scarves who were given by her by my dad, you know, in the years. And the first thing she said, she gave me all her Hermes scarves, saying, okay, you need to have all these scarves now that you work at Hermes.
The invitations have all been sent. The store opening includes a lavish reception in San Marco Square.
So here is the invitation. This is what our guest received. So it's the gold and the red. Well, the gold is one of the colors of Venice, obviously. So, and then the horses, you see there's this little decoupage, which I think is very pretty. Obviously, it's the 4 horses that represent the 4 horses on the Basilica of San Marco.
It may be beautiful in San Marco Square, but the forecast is for rain, which could mean acqua alta.
Today it's a crazy day.
I cannot say always that we succeed 100%.
In the city of canals, Mia Rica Bertolotti has been living a logistical nightmare.
I'm really worried about the mirror.
Trying to open a high-end Hermes boutique. After the hectic delivery of the giant mirror, the store is finally taking shape. It is now opening day, and luckily, there's no rain. Mia Rica has 500 guests arriving at her store in a few hours. The staff is frantically putting the Hermes products on display. Jewelry, leather goods, and hundreds of silk scarves. The storeroom is stacked with inventory, each item in a classic Hermes box. Rana Dumas, the chief architect from Paris, is here too, putting her final stamp on the store. She seems pleased with Mia Rica's efforts, sort of.
I cannot say always that we succeed 100%. It's impossible. But it's a nice achievement, and I'm very happy for that.
Buongiorno a tutti, intanto oggi giornata.
Mia Rica soldiers on. Exhausted, she has to give the troops a pep talk. She's still worried about overcrowding.
Il nostro più grosso problema sarà quello della circolazione.
She tells the staff, who are all sporting Hermes neckwear, that they'll have to help move traffic flow in the store. This corner building had been completely gutted, but well worth the investment because of its great location, just 100 meters from San Marco Square. It's been converted into a showpiece for one of the most exacting design houses in the world. The secretive Hermes family wouldn't reveal the budget, but with this attention to detail, money was no object, and the mirror fits right in, even though it got here through a second-story window. The international press gets the first peek and jostles for a shot of Patrick Thomas, the president of Hermes. He's joined by the mayor of Venice, who, mon Dieu, showed up not wearing a tie.
He didn't wear a tie, but it's because we forgot to give him one.
A faux pas is quickly remedied. Gianluca made it to the opening party, but his partner Giovanni had had enough of Venice and was back in Milan. Meanwhile, Mia Rica is getting great feedback on the store.
I think it's a beautiful store, finally, in Venice.
For me, it's sheer luxury. It's just the pleasure of luxury, and it's the only store, according to me, which is really links to the tradition of, well, you know, things well done.
Whatever you buy, it's usually you can wear forever and ever, especially the handbags.
It's very, very, very impressive. It's a beautiful restoration.
Welcome, Hermes, to Venice.
A few hours later, a dramatic prelude to the soiree. Stilt walkers lead the crowd to San Marco Square, where Hermes is hosting a reception.
This is the Hermes scarf with the four horses. They're not as beautiful as the real ones, but nearly.
The four horses of the Basilica, now fully restored, are glowing on the balcony. And below, the champagne is flowing.
Hermes à Venise, Hermes en Italy.
I'm happy that, you know, I was able to arrive to this day in good health without having a nervous breakdown.
Tonight, Venice is perfect, even for the French.
One of the first things that I ever got from Hermes was from an ex-boyfriend, and he didn't actually give this to me. I just took it out of his closet on my way out before I slammed the door. And it was a fabulous muffler, cashmere muffler from Hermes, and I still have it and I love it, and it was just the most incredible thing. I felt incredibly rich wearing it.